So welcome. We're gonna be ready for an epic chess battle here between the two genius chess programs, one called Stockfish 9 and the other called Houdini 15A. We will play a 4-game match where in the first game it is Stockfish 9 playing with the white pieces. And it opens with e4. So this is a battle between two unbelievably powerful chess playing entities. These are both what you could call artificial intelligences. And they play both chess at a level far beyond the best human chess player in the world. So here we're literally witnessing the battle of intelligences on the chessboard which are more advanced than the human general understanding of chess. And that's quite interesting because we can follow it. Even though we don't fully understand it, we can see certain things happening. So what we can see here is the Spanish opening has been played, and it's a variation of what is called the Open Spanish, which is a variation played a lot by the famous Viktor Korchnoi in his matches against Anatoly Karpov. In Merano 1981, for example, he played this variation and got pounded quite hard by Karpov, who had prepared a lot of very interesting ideas against it. It's also a variation which was seen played by Vishwanathan Anand against Garry Kasparov in Game 9 of their World Championship match, where Kasparov prepared a very special novelty. So it's a variation that has a track record. And here we see the first really drastic thing happening. Stockfish attacking on the king side with the g4 and f4 moves. So an offensive plan here by Stockfish. f5 follows. He's got options of f6, e6, rook f3 comes. The rook can come swing to h3 and g3. And it seems to be that his plan is a king side attack. Knight f4 is an option. h4, g5 is an option, but it plays rook c1 to cover the c file and the c5 square. It seems the Stockfish wants to keep control over the c5 square while keeping his options open to attack on the king side. f6 is played, which is a weakening move, weakening the e6 square. The knight immediately moves to f4, has now the option of jumping into e6, and rook h3 comes. So Stockfish hasn't given up his plans of a kingside attack here, and as far as I can tell, he seems to have a very good position here with white. Stockfish 9 is the open source chess program which has gone through many iterations over the years and is at the moment, I believe, the #1 program in the world. It plays an amazing level of chess. And here you see Stockfish going right for the kingside attack. Now there's options like knight g6 followed by bishop takes h6, just ripping up the king side, and I really can't see any defense here against bishop h6. It just seems to me completely crushing. But instead he plays g5, which also makes a lot of sense. Taken with the f-pawn, you can take with the bishop. There are many options here. He even takes with the queen because it will be mate on h8. And it seems that Stockfish has already a very, very powerful attack. Bishop g5 comes and he crashes through. The queen goes off the board. Obviously Houdini had to give up material there, and this shows that his plan has failed, and Stockfish is crashing through. He rook e6 coming in. If he takes it, white takes. The kingside attack is still going. The other rook comes and joins, and he now has a full queen just for one minor piece, and the rook crashes in, and now he's got a mating attack planned, and Stockfish has announced mate in 3 moves. There is no way that Houdini can defend here, and he is going down against the world's #1 chess program. Rook h6 checkmate comes here, and that was the end of game 1. So now we're seeing game 2. We're seeing it from Stockfish's point of view, and Stockfish is playing black. So will Stockfish be able to win with the black pieces? Houdini, of course, is also an incredibly strong chess program, but I think it has to be said that Stockfish is at a level like no other. So far it's a relatively classical kind of position. I would expect white to castle short. If he castles long, it's gonna be very sharp. Black seems to prepare e5, and he's not rushing it with the c5 pawn. There he takes it. Stockfish seems to be going for a centralized strategy here, trying to keep the pieces with control of the center. I would say it's relatively classical play that we're seeing so far. e5 comes, he now has a strong center position, and Houdini is just kind of played a little bit defensively and not doing anything very radical. And already I feel that black is the one who has the most comfortable position. 3 pawns in the center now, so a real centralized strategy that's been played by Stockfish here. In the previous game, of course, we saw a very attacking version. He did a very powerful kingside attack in a position where he actually had options of playing both on the king side and the queen side, so it was a very strong position. Now it's clear that he's playing right in the center, but now he's pressuring the knight on the side. If the knight should move, the a2 pawn is weak. Now both the rooks are behind the central pawns, and it seems that Houdini is trying to stabilize the position and create a kind of fortress where it will be difficult for Stockfish to break through. This is of course the moments when we know the Stockfish very often has an ability to really spend its time and make many preparatory moves, which seems to the human eye almost to be shuffling forward and back, but where there are slight improvements of its position. And then at just the right moment, a more active breakthrough might happen. So far it seems relatively stable, but it still seems that it is Stockfish with the black pieces here that has a very comfortable position, a strong center structure with the 2 pawns controlling many squares, always having the long-term options of moving one of them forward with e4 or d4 breaks. And h6 is played, which is another natural move to open up, give the some air, but he continues with g5 and e4, and once again it seems that Stockfish is going for a kingside attack here. Since white chose to play quite defensively, this is the option that Stockfish gets, and he opens up the g file and the bishop also to d7. What will happen now? The bishop moves, he can take the rook on a8, he doesn't do it. So there seems to be an attack plan that the rumors say that Stockfish claims to have a winning position with black here. Rook g6 comes, he's preparing the rook doubling in the g file with now strong pressure on g2. Actually a direct threat of crashing through rook a2 protects it. But is it enough? What can happen here? Can the knight come in? Can the white squared bishop do something here? And he crashes through on g2 anyway. The queen goes off the board. Then queen e3 comes. He has time for that intermediate check. He can now take in g2 afterwards, and then f4 will fall. And now the bishops go back. It seems Stockfish has a kind of plan prepared here for doing a kingside attack. And Houdini just throws away the knight. This seems like desperation. Now the queen comes crashing in, and now those central pawns are ready to begin to roll down the board. And together with the queen, and now there's a check on g3, after which he's gonna win back the rook on f5. And he's got the attack, he's got the central queens, he's got b8 covered there, b8's just given away, and white is going down in flames here. And even with the black pieces, we're seeing Stockfish 9, the world's strongest chess program, once again deliver the goods. And then we'll take a break.